We're like, this is ridiculous.
This reminds me of my favorite football player of all time, Troy Aikman, who could never throw in the rain. He could not throw, and he's admitted this. He couldn't throw a wet football. I don't know if it was something mental, and it sounds like this was the problem with this gal too. She was dominant. She was an ace, and she couldn't throw in the rain.
It was like this little bit of kryptonite that started to happen. And so when they called the rain delay, we were like, we basically hopped out of the dugout to make a point that it's not raining that hard. But what that turned into instead was like, you know, we had our fans doing cheers, like any of the cheers you'd hear at a football game. Let's say we started to do those. And
okay, well, let me stop you. Whose idea was that? Because that's, I mean, again, I've watched this video and people are going to hear it on the audio side in the background. They're going to hear that actual chant. I've watched it on YouTube. Whose idea was it to get everybody out there? We're down by this many runs. We're in a rain delay here. Our last game for some of us in our career. Let's get out and let's do some chants.
You know, I'm not 100% sure. I think it was like maybe one person might have said it, and then everyone's like, yep, everyone out of the dugout. Like it was this collective, like, yes, like we're not going anywhere type thing. And, you know, and momentum is such a important factor. Like whether, and this is something cool. Like you don't have to just be a player to know how big momentum is. Like you could be a fan in the stands and realize like, wow, momentum is like a real thing here. Yeah. And we had a fan, her name's Emily P. Tech Clifford, who comes in striped crimson overalls with a big pink sombrero. She's nominated for ESPN Hall of Fans. She comes to just about every softball game, and she's just like this conductor with the stands, and she makes an impact on games. So she's in Oklahoma City leading every cheer. And, you know, it's funny because again, Oklahoma's team is probably like, what the heck are they doing?
Oh, the camera panned to them on the bench and they look miserable.
Oh,
and some confused, of course.
Yeah, and just like, what is going on? Meanwhile, all of our focus is on us, and we're just enjoying each other. And I don't know. It wasn't to try to spite anyone, or it was more just like it turned into like, hey, we're just playing like kids, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was special because obviously at the time we didn't know we were gonna take the lead after the rain delay, but during that rain delay, it was just like, okay, this is, you know, what are our two options here? To just like be pissed that they called the rain delay, or let's have some fun out here.
what did you, after you guys were done outside the dugout and you went back inside, what were the talks like? What were the hitting plans? What were the pitching plans? What was the overall strategy to try to get back into this game?
Sure. Yeah, we were, so righties were going to back off the plate a little bit. We were going to, I don't know if I think we had a take sign on until she threw a strike because of how wild she was throwing. So I think really those were the two main things, but what we were doing was working because obviously we were threatening, and then it turned into a couple more huge base hits, a couple of more errors, a couple of more wild pitches. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, we score the fourth run to take the lead. And I mean, we had talk about all this excitement that had been bubbling over. It was like I felt like our dugout was just like, you know, one of those cartoon houses that looked like it was about to pop open. That's what it felt like.
Yeah. You know, I was thinking about this preparing for the show this week, and I don't know, maybe it's because I do believe that stars do align in life. I wonder if that game, when you guys woke up and you had all that rain, and then you had the 3-hour rain delay, and they said, you know what, we're going to push the game back. We get the okay from our television partners and everybody. We're going to push the game back a day. I wonder if we'd be sitting here right now talking about you guys winning the national championship. Because it seems like everything sort of built up to that moment to where you guys took the lead, and eventually you went on to win that game.
Yeah, you know what? When you talk to anybody who's won a national championship or won any championship, it's like, what goes into it, right? And they're talking about internal leadership and the talent and blah, 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 blah. And then at the very end, they're going to say, and a little bit of luck. Like a lot has to line up for you could have everything go right, and then, or all the pieces be in the right places. And then for some reason, things just go a little weird, haywire. And yeah, I'll tell you what, like we didn't know she couldn't throw in the rain. We didn't know. That's life. It's timing. It's special moments that align and click. And I agree with you. I don't know if we're saying this if we wait another day to play that game. Who knows, right? Because a lot of our family and a lot of our fans had flights booked for the next day, where Oklahoma doesn't have to fly anywhere. You know, they would have had the clear advantage. They would have had an extra day's rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Time.